Hello. I am Dr. Mary Beth McCabe, and I'm here to talk today with Rick Griffin. And a little bit about Rick. He's got more than 40 years of experience in journalism, public relations, advertising, and marketing communications. He's got a Master's of Science degree in marketing, and that's from National University. His bachelor's degree is in journalism from San Diego State University, and he's been in the field of marketing communications as the founder of Rick Griffin Marketing Communications for decades. He's also on the board of the San Diego Press Club, and he's the recipient of the Andy Mace Award, the San Diego Press Club's Lifetime Achievement Award for outstanding contributions in the field of PR and journalism. And he's also a recipient of the American Advertising Federation's Silver Medal Award, a Lifetime Achievement Award for outstanding contributions to the advertising industry. So welcome, Rick. It's good to see you.
Thank you very much, Dr. McCabe, for this opportunity. I'm very grateful for this opportunity and look forward to talking to you.
Well, I've got a few questions that I'm going to ask you today, and I think this is going to be a really fun time to spend together. So the first question is, where are you from and how did you get to this stage in your career?
Well, I grew up in San Diego, and God made me to be a PR guy, a marketing guy, a writer. I was interested in writing and journalism early in my life. In elementary school, I would come home and read the afternoon evening newspaper. So there's not many 8-year-olds who would come home and read the daily newspaper. So, ironically, in my PR career later on, I was involved in the 1992 merger of the daily newspapers, the Evening Tribune in the afternoon and the San Diego Union in the morning. So, like most people, my career has been involved with highs and lows, a lot of highs, a lot of wonderful things. I've helped launch numerous products, consumer products, digital satellite television, running shoes, an ear thermometer, a chocolate fondue fountain. I helped launch the industry's first militarized laptop computer for the field. And I've consulted with utilities, SDG&E, when they were merging, and also helped clients for special events, including Super Bowls, and handle the press room for golfing events, professional golf events. I've been really fortunate in my career that I've had longevity with several clients. 20 years with the Better Business Bureau, 17 years with the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, 13 years with the Health Care District, and 5 years as marketing director of a community college here in San Diego with 20,000 student enrollment. And so I studied journalism in college. I started working as a newspaper reporter as a freshman in college for a community newspaper. As a sports editor, I worked in radio and worked in TV stations. In fact, when I did my internship with a TV station, we were still using film. Videotape wasn't even invented yet. I've been a magazine editor, a newspaper reporter, and covered presidential visits and city councils and sports and military jets landing on freeways and things like that.
Wow.
I took a couple years off to work as a youth pastor, both in Los Angeles and San Diego. And I really enjoyed my time as a youth pastor. And then I got back into journalism in the communications field and agency work. But if you've ever worked in agency work, you know that it can be unstable at times. There was a stretch there in which I went through 10 jobs in 10 years. A couple of times when my wife was pregnant with our 2 children. And so that was interesting. But anybody who works in PR knows that there's many challenges, and some things work out great, and some things don't work out so great when you have canceled media interviews due to breaking news. And I've had those things due to airline pilot strikes and fires and SWAT actions and the kidnappings, and even a former California governor's love child. That was interesting. But I've also spent time in corporate PR, doing work for Fortune 500 companies as in-house person. And then a normal career path is that you open up your own PR firm, which I did in 1988, and I've been a sole practitioner then. And I've had the opportunity to be able to lecture and talk to people about media strategies and crisis communications at SDSU and UCSD and USD, and then also National University. So it's been a great career. It really has, Dr. McCabe.
So this is fantastic. I'm just overblown, really. But let's look at the future. What are your career goals at this moment in time? And what are you currently doing to meet this goal?
You're right. At my age, most people are thinking about retiring. But I consider myself just beginning to write another chapter. I really do. The book's not over yet. I'm still writing another chapter. I have, maybe 10, 15, 20 years left, maybe more, maybe less, before I start spending eternity in heaven. So I want to make the most of it, naturally. I feel like my best days are ahead of me. The best is yet to come, and I want to make the most of every day. I'm not ready for the rocking chair. Because when you think about it, some of the greatest American heroes and world leaders, even in scripture, had some of their most productive days in their latter year. And so to me, it's a new season. I have all kinds of opportunities ahead of me, I believe, that the Lord has for me, and where I am today is not where I'm supposed to stay. And this is why the degree from National University was so important to me, is because I wanted to expand my horizons. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to complete my master's degree that I had never completed. I started my master's degree 42 years after finishing college, and it was all online. Back in the day when we had typewriters and mimeograph machines and things like that we were using for our homework assignments. So, but it's been terrific to learn new skills and self-improvement. I've had to pivot a number of occasions during my career, and my degree from National University really helped me. I think it will help me in the future to pivot, in future occasions, to be sure.
Can you give maybe some examples of how those classes at National University, which were all 4 weeks long, how did that help prepare you for the future?
Well, if there's one word to describe the classes at National University for me, the word would be relevancy. Relevancy. I think that in every class, without exception, we were discussing and writing about people and places and things that were drawn from that day's headlines. For example, in mobile marketing, we talked about case studies that were relevant to today, about what was planned for the future with tech companies and Apple and the next generation of apps. In consumer behavior, we talked about creative advertising strategies that were based on research of consumers. I really enjoyed global marketing and international studies, in which we were talking about the European Union and Brexit and the trade war with China and the early days of COVID-19 and the mistakes and the successes that American companies were having abroad, doing business in Central and South America, and India and Asia and Europe. And I really enjoyed social media with all the different ways that we can communicate today with the population and with consumers. Every professor was an expert in their field. They were all up to date. All of it, the marketing research papers, the marketing plans. To me, it was fascinating, it was enlightening, and it was very relevant. It was relevant to today's world, to be sure.
Well, thank you for that. I have one last question for you. If you're talking to someone about their decision to enroll in National University, what would be your advice?
I would say go for it. You better go for it now, because to prepare yourself for in the future. It's not cheap. I still owe money, but I think it's a wise investment in yourself. The best investment you can make is in yourself, and I think it will turn out to be a great investment. And every penny spent not on investing in yourself could be a missed opportunity, and I don't want to miss any opportunities. So thank you for this opportunity to give you a few things from my heart, and thanks for listening, and thanks for watching.